We come to you live on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Joining me tonight, the pride of Plainfield, New Jersey. It's Jay Williams.
Ed, you continue to surprise me, my man. I didn't know you knew about the Queen City.
All I know is you're the king in that town in the Garden State.
Well, we're going to find out who the king is on the court this evening.
Nuggets have the first possession. Nikola Jokic, he's never made the playoffs, but upon further review, he is a special center.
Got that 5-year extension for $146 million, and I'm willing to say this, he will be one of the future centers in the game.
Short jumper won't go down. Nuggets have the possession. Nothing going here on that drive. Screen coming. He was hacked. They let it go.
That's how you do it. You stay in his pocket and you never give him any space at all. You make him smell you every single possession.
That's off of Leonard, out of bounds. Murray with it. Looking to make something happen to Millsap. Beverly into the front court. A minute gone by here in the opening quarter. Murray with the basketball. He'll run the offense. Trying to cash in, and he buries it on the step back. Jay, this move continues to evolve since the days of Allen Iverson.
It does so much, Ed. When you step back east or west while maintaining your dribble, look at all your options. Number one, a hezzy. You look at the rim. The defender jumps. You blow by him. Number two, maybe a crossover in the same direction you just came from to throw the defender off. Or number three, a raise into an easy jump shot. It's easy when you have this bag of tricks.
And when the game's on the line, that's arguably when it's most dangerous. Won't go. Paul George, 4-2. Paul George, 2 for 2. That's what you want. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
To Leonard. Oh, highlight moves. Tough to do with the defender all over you. Nothing going here on that drive. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
It's Denver's ball. Nothing going here on that drive. To Millsap. Marcus Morris sends it away.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
George. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
Murray into the front court. 8-2 our score. To Jokic. Down to 5 on the 24. Jamal Murray. It's good, and he's not done. He's going to the line for a chance at a 4-point play.
It never would have been a foul if you didn't give him space. Your job defensively is to stay attached to him at all times. Force him to put the ball on the ground and drive and make a shot over the trees below.
Jamal Murray with a chance at a 4-point play for his career 89%. Three-pointer plus a free throw on that trip.
So, Ed, my man P. Bev the other day made some comments on social media. I want to get your reaction. He said, I'll tell you right now, we are the best team in LA. How do you feel about that?
Jay, since the Clippers moved from San Diego, I don't know if that's been the case once. Maybe going back a few years, but LeBron James is in LA now. I don't know if Patrick Beverley's right on that one. Murray into the front court. Down 2. Here comes the screen. Harris, tough matchup against George. And it's Zubac with the rebound. Beverley, pass to the rim, flushes down the slam. Jay, this is getting scary fast.
If you're the defense, you have to deny him the ball. Maybe throw a box and one, maybe throw a zone, maybe even throw the kitchen sink because he's putting on a show in the first quarter.
Shot clock winding down. Has a chance. Tough shot. Hand in his face. He makes them pay.
From somebody who loved to score a lot himself, defensively, if you are guarding me in a parallel position, I can have whatever I want when I want. You have to force this guy to go one direction, make him go towards his weak hand, and then contest that shot.
Murray with it. 5-point game. To Millsap. Denver with 4 to shoot. Has a look. Well defended. Shot no good. If it was anyone else, they'd be back on the bench for taking that shot. Beverley to George. Here comes the screen. It's PG for 2. The screen sets him up for 2.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
The shot by Murray, no good.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jumper.
Nuggets with the basketball. Curling inside. The shot no good on the drive by Jokic. Paul George to Beverley. Trying to cash in. Morris with a shot no good. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
I like that aggression early. You never just settle for jumpers. You attack, you attack, you attack. Then when they back off, you'll have room to shoot that, Jay.
Changes coming from both sides right now. Working hard on the glass. Can't connect from inside.
But you can't just be a one-dimensional player. I know you're probably frustrated by me even saying that, but when you don't even give the option to pass the ball by utilizing some head fakes or ball fakes here and there, you save the defender by keeping them on their toes with the element of surprise.
And Kawhi Leonard, good on the quick release there.
This is a game of ways. As a defense, you have to recognize that they come and they go. That will not be the case all the time moving forward.
Patrick Beverley, 2 for 3 now here in the first.
You see, here's why versatility is so imperative for your offensive repertoire. If you're a one-trick pony as a defender, I know exactly how to defend you because you only do one thing. But if you have versatility, then the coach can put you in multiple looks within the offense, and you can get it any way you want.
Murray with the basketball. Down a bundle. Short jumper won't fall.
See, when good shooters catch, they just shoot. When bad shooters catch, they become hesitant, reluctant. That's the first sign of a guy that doesn't have confidence.
Knocks it down from mid-range.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Jay, upon scanning this Clippers roster, there are a lot of guards for Doc Rivers to work with.
Yeah, they have a plethora of guards, and if I'm this team and if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm thinking about how do I throw as many guards at you as possible, because Doc wants to get another guard in there to apply the same pressure. They should be the new modern-day Detroit Pistons with the style they play defensively.
Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
George. Pass there, taken away by Denver. A drive down the lane, but the shot won't go. Leonard. Mason Plumlee knocked away. It's getting dangerous down there.
Ed, I hated getting my shot blocked like that, but I did like getting the ball right back.
Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups. Flushes it home. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
That's toughness right there. Physical inside, gets it to go.
There you go. I like seeing scoring coming from unlikely sources.
To Paul George. Nothing going here on that drive. Mason Plumlee rejects it.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
To Leonard. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. George. He made his first effort, but not that time. Denver's got it. To Porter. Here comes the screen. The pass set it all up.
You have to understand something. If you want to win this game, there should be one rule and one rule only. You never give up easy buckets, even if you have to give a hard foul. Make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Beverly to George. Nothing going here on that drive. A pass stolen by the Nuggets. Knocked loose. They love this hustle. And finishes strong.
Just wait a second, Ed. Wait 1 second. Can we go back to the play before this great play that we just saw? Just because you have a bad offensive possession, you can't allow that to go down and reciprocate itself on the defensive end. One bad play does not make 2 bad plays. You have to bounce back. That's how you play this game.
It's the Clippers with the possession now. Paul George to Leonard. Take stock of the floor. George down low for Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. He's now 4 for 6.
Old school equals high percentage.
To Porter. Dribbling inside, the pass taken away by the Clippers. George buries it on the catch and shoot.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. We're through one at Staples Center with the Clippers on top. Jay and I return after this. It's the NBA on a Friday night, and it's on EA Sports. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. LA Clippers with the basketball to Williams. Surveys the floor. Short jumper stays out. Here comes the screen. Jokic to Porter. Jay, the Clippers last year were 2 games better than 500. Pretty amazing when you think about what they dealt with.
Most definitely, but everything for this Clipper organization starts with Lou Williams. He is the stud for this team. It's his second time in his career he's been named 6th Man of the Year, and that's why they signed the 31-year-old to a 3-year, $24 million deal.
Jokic to Porter. Michael Porter Jr. above the rim.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him. Denver ball right now. To Porter. Here comes the screen. Porter. Shot clock to 4 for the Nuggets. Nothing going here on that drive. And the rebound brought down by Harrell. Williams into the front court. His guys up by 15. They'll get it down low to Harrell. He throws it down. This is becoming a runaway.
They're getting to the rim at will, probably because we're watching Matador defense. You probably want to get in the way of your defender if they keep trying to attack the rim.
To Jokic. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Beverly into the front court. The lead is 15. To Paul George. Count the basket at the rim.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Jokic. Denver with 4 to shoot. To Porter. Here's a chance from long range. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Beverly into the front court. His guys hold a commanding lead. Gets to the basket and scores.
Bread and butter. And there are a few that can do it better off the screen.
Now a whistle and a timeout for Denver as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Some lineup changes now for both clubs. Nuggets have the possession. To Porter. Oh, Nikola Jokic. 2 of 4 now.
I get tired of hearing guys say, I was there, I contested a shot, I pretty much had a hand in his face. Well, no, you have to change up the game. If a guy is right-handed, he is right eye dominant. Get that hand over his right eye, block his vision. That'll enhance his chances of missing the shot.
And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. Fires the 3. That out of his range and no good. To Reggie Jackson. To George. Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Shot clock to 4 for the Nuggets. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Jeremy Grant at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. Career mark of 64%. Free throws good to cap off the 3-point play as they draw a tiny bit closer. Leonard to Jackson. Leonard to Reggie Jackson. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Defense was ready. Reggie Jackson unable to hit. Murray into the front court. His guys down big. To Millsap. And scores.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
It's LA Clippers ball. Here comes the screen. Sizing up the defense. Williams. And finishes strong.
Like my old coach used to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's way too easy. Just keep attacking. It's easy money.
Murray into the front court. He'll run the offense. Jay, 46 wins, not good enough for Denver.
They could have been a playoff team if Paul Millsap didn't miss a huge chunk of the season. But I will say this about the Nuggets. They have the most underrated backcourt in the NBA when you think about Gary Harris and Jamal Murray. Both guards that can do it off the dribble and are both great leaders.
Kawhi Leonard sizing up Jeremy Grant. Williams. Around the perimeter to Williams from long range. So the first points for him in this first half, and he knocks it down for 3.
Yeah, they really need him to get going. Really surprised that none of his teammates have been talking to him. This is when he needs him the most. They have to uplift him, help him continue to be confident on the court.
To Millsap. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Kawhi Leonard tips it. That's off of Leonard, out of bounds. They're going to make some changes with some new personnel on the floor. Shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Leonard to Beverly. Five seconds to shoot. Here's Leonard for two. Deep two there. Won't go. The follow won't go either. Nuggets have the possession. Jokic. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Beverly into the front court. His guys holding the big lead. Here comes the screen. Leonard. To Jokic. Oh, Nikola Jokic. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
A drive down the lane, but the shot won't go down. It's Denver's ball. To Jokic. Even to Zubats. Knocked it away.
Oh, some fans should take that ball home as a gift.
That's a souvenir. The opposing coach is going to counter. Make some changes of his own. Knocked loose. Clippers have it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
To Leonard. Beverly. Message received. Well defended.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Clippers have the basketball. Leonard to Beverly. No, I missed a short one there. Murray with it. His guys trail by 13. To Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris, strong finish.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Millsap. Knocked loose. Clippers have got it.
Keep your foot on the gas, but don't get too reckless.
And he scores. Euro step into the rim, Jay.
The pass was really good, but what I love most about the play, Ed, was that every player that ran in transition had active hands, which means they were active targets. They provided a target for the player to deliver the pass. That's how you work together as teammates.
Took it down the lane, but it's no good.
I agree. I thought there was a foul, but also it's all about your approach. You can't come down the lane and jump off one leg. It's called a power lift. Go off 2 legs and expect the contact.
Leonard to Beverly. Here comes the screen. Leonard. Now that's a contest. Bad pass there. Clippers have it.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in 1st and 2nd grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
Off the mark on the first free throw. So he goes 1 for 2 from the line after hitting on the second. Jokic. They get it down to Millsap. No good. Williams across the timeline. Looking to make something happen. Hand in his face. Still hits. You don't see that very often.
Why are you even guarding a bad shooter that close in the first place? This is psychological warfare. Leave him open. Make him think about it before he shoots it.
Fires the three. Knocks it down. Defender has to get there next time.
But it was how he created the shot. As a defender, there's a tendency to stand up when you stare at the ball. Offensive player recognized that, continuously moved without the ball. Bang, that's how he set it up.
Leonard. To Williams. Nuggets have it. And the slam.
So many people think making assists is creating something razzle and dazzle. Sometimes giving the ball up early is the right play and the most efficient.
To Leonard. Here comes the screen. Leonard. Great dish to set it up. Slams it down.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Just inside the arc, at the buzzer, and the Clippers have the rebound. A very one-sided first half of basketball as we are at halftime. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at what went down so far in this one. The Clippers are feeling comfortable at the halfway mark. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaking. The Nuggets are down at halftime and in need of some momentum. They've been scrappy, doing their best to be competitive. We'll see if their efforts are more rewarded in the second half. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Denver Nuggets.
Game track. Assists.
The Denver Nuggets are struggling to move the ball and create good looks for each other. What makes it worse is their opponent isn't having nearly the same problem.
Player of the half.
Paul George has the defense figured out, and his shots are falling for him. That's a lethal combination that will be hard to overcome.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this, except that he fits the title of this segment? He was definitely cold in that first half. Here are the top plays from the opening half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Back to Ed and Jay to bring you the second half action.
Leonard to Paul George. the assist.
Big shout out to the athletic trainer for this team. It's obvious you've been doing all the preparation required of your team in the weight room in the offseason. Flex on them a little bit.
Jokic to Millsap for three, and the rebound comes down to the Clippers. To George. And he buries it.
And there's nothing more mentally intimidating for your opponent than when your own teammates are unselfish and make sure that you get the ball because they want you to drop 70 on them, maybe like Devin Booker did last year.
To Millsap. Jeremy Grant sends it away. Murray with the basketball. Down a bundle. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Jamal Murray trying to cash in on the three-point play. He's perfect from the line so far. And the free throw is good. 3 points on that trip. It's the Clippers with the possession now to Beverly.
Oh, yeah, it's me and you, me and you.
Probing the defense. Leonard to Paul George. Lets it fly from long range, and Kawhi Leonard good on the quick release there.
I know there are refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
Using the post to his advantage there, and the finish at the rim.
And when plays like that happen with multiple players touching the ball, the basketball gods will 100% reward you.
Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Yeah, I've been in this situation before. Just raise your hand. We got to switch.
Jokic. The pass taken away by the Clippers. To Leonard. Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
To Millsap. Oh, Millsap. He's 3 for 7.
He's so good down low. This four-time All-Star really does a good job of utilizing that body to muscle through contact and finish with the best of them.
Paul George to Leonard. 4-3 and knocks it down. Jay, the defender, tough to gamble that time beyond the arc.
Well, that change is inevitable. And one of the things that continues to fascinate me about this game, usually when you see a good three-point shooting team, their shoulders are square to the basket. That's no longer the case in today's game. These guys are off balance, they're moving different ways, yet they still have extreme shot-making ability.
Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Nikola Jokic at the line for a chance at a three-point play. A career 83% free throw shooter. Off the mark at the line. Beverly into the front court. His guys hold a commanding lead. To Leonard. Scores from the post.
Woo, did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
Nuggets with the basketball. Can't miss those. Beverly into the front court. He'll run the offense. To Leonard. Nothing going here on that drive. Leonard to Marcus Morris. Leonard. Smothering D.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Oh, highlight moves. Tough to pull off with the defender all over you. Paul Millsap with the block.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
George. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Jokic. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. Beverly. Pass there, taken away by Denver. To Millsap. Denver with 4 to shoot. Goes to the left side. Jamal Murray. Shot off the mark. Good defense.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Now the Nuggets signaling for timeout as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this third quarter. Coach has seen enough. He wants some changes. New personnel onto the floor. They'll work it down to Millsap. And it's Leonard there to clear the rebound.
And you knew this game had a chance to get out of hand pretty quickly because of the communication. When these guys stepped on the court, Ed, they were yapping back and forth to each other. And that kind of communication, that kind of collective responsibility to one another, you feel that on the court. That's why this team is special.
Murray into the front court. His guys down big. To Jokic. Down to 5 on the 24. Has a chance. Chance for Jokic off the mark. Beverly into the front court. His guys holding the big lead. To Marcus Morris. Nikola Jokic swats it.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Knock loose. Clippers have it. Kawhi Leonard guarded by Jeremy Grant. Hat-trick Beverly. He's now 4 for 6.
This may sound cheesy, but sometimes you just need to sit back, get a tub of popcorn, and just enjoy the show because that's what you're watching right now.
Able to convert inside. Leonard to Marcus Morris. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. Kawhi Leonard. Deep 2 there. Won't go.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jumper.
And look out.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
They get it down to Millsap. Oh, Millsap. He's 5 for 10, shooting 50%. LA Clippers with the basketball.
Screen right, screen right, screen right.
Here's Leonard for 2. And the rebound taken by Millsap. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
And when the ball gets the defense rotating from side to side, you're bound to find opportunities for each other.
Timeout called here by the Clippers as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. Leonard to Williams. They'll get it down low to Harrell and throws it down.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on. But the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
Down low, Plumlee. Whistled for the foul. Chance coming up at the free throw line.
Okay, now we're on the home stretch, and you got a big lead. Don't let your opponent back in this game by giving up extra possessions.
Mason Plumlee at the line for 2 shots. 56% for his career. Oops, he missed the first one. Good bounce back, hits the second. It's a 1 of 2 trip. Jackson with it. Looking to make something happen. To Leonard. And he knocks it down, Jay.
Might have had an extra dribble or 2 there, but he got the shot he wanted.
To Porter. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Screen coming. Leonard to Jackson. LA with 4 to shoot. Jackson to Leonard. Jumper's good.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
Millsap. Here comes the screen. To Porter. Beyond the arc for 3. Michael Porter Jr. fulfilling expectations. Tough shot.
Ooh, welcome to the new reality. Positionless basketball. Bigs are now PGs with the ability to drain 3s.
Here comes the screen. Active hands to stay with it. We'll get a jump. Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. Jackson. Nice pass to set things up.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Knocked loose, and that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. It remains Nuggets basketball. New blood coming in for both sides. Doesn't get the bounce. Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. Long key from three-quarters court. That's the end of the third quarter, and a nice advantage right now for the Clippers. The Clippers with the basketball as we begin the fourth quarter. And it might be time to empty the bench, Jay. This game appears to be well in hand.
And their starting five has certainly earned the fourth quarter off. They've been terrific this ball game. And this is the type of game where you find a chance to relax. You ice up, you watch your other teammates play, you applaud them, and you get ready for the next game.
JaMychal Green snatching it out of the air.
Just incredible timing on that swap.
Jackson. To Leonard. Going to launch. Beyond the arc. Off the mark. No good. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
You know, it reminds me, Ed, of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with the fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Porter. And it's Harrell who comes away with the rebound. To Leonard.
Hey, watch this screen left.
The screen sets him up for 2.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
To Porter. Screen coming. Great hustle. That's what you like to see. Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Leonard gets it in the left corner. To Reggie Jackson. Williams. Reggie Jackson. It's been a quiet night. Only 3 attempts, but he makes that one stick.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Can't connect from in close. To Jackson. It's a big finish. At this point, if it continues, it just may be good night, Irene.
And ooh, I like that Irene line.
There you go, Jay.
And sometimes as a player on the defensive end, Ed, you need to draw a line in the sand. You have to find a way to change the narrative. Because right now, the constant theme has been too many easy buckets.
Jay, don't deny it. You're an old soul at heart.
Yeah, I still don't know who Irene is, though.
Me neither.
Watch that cutter.
Here's a chance from long range. Yes, give the advantage to the shooter.
Even though the coach initially may not like that shot, now he's clapping because that ball went in.
Leonard. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
Here comes the screen. To Porter. Has a look. Hand in his face. Still hits. You don't see that very often.
Why are you even guarding a bad shooter that close in the first place? This is psychological warfare. Leave him open. Make him think about it before he shoots it.
Jackson to Leonard. Trying to cash in. Shot for Leonard. No good.
Come on here. Come on.
Here comes the screen.
Right.
To Porter. Knocks it down. Off the step back.
Good shot.
Oh, don't see the read. Be the read.
Now the Clippers call a timeout as they'll talk things over here in this fourth quarter. Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Beverly to Leonard. Beverly to Marcus Morris. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. Nikola Jokic with a piece. Shot clock violation. To Jokic. Shot clock to 4 for the Nuggets.
Watch the cutter, man.
Shot by Jokic. Off the iron. No good. Beverly into the front court. His guys hold a commanding lead. They'll get it down to Leonard. Beverly. Off the iron. No good. Murray into the front court. He'll run the offense. Jokic.
Here comes the screen.
They go down low. Murray. Off the assist. Beverly into the front court. His guys holding the big lead. To Marcus Morris. Shot from in close. No good. To Millsap. Porter. The pass taken away by the Clippers.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Denver's got it. To Jokic. And the rebound taken in by Beverly. To Leonard. Has a chance with the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket. Jokic. Gets it in the right corner. Porter. Fires the three. Oh, that's how it's done.
I love the pure confidence on that jumper. He takes that three despite the defender being right in front of his face. That's borderline disrespectful.
Timeout called here by the Clippers as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. Patrick Beverly. With that, he's 5 for 9. Murray with it. Down a bundle. To Jokic. Scores from the post.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Jokic. Short jumper off the mark. Beverly into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Cruises inside for 2.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Denver ball right now. To Millsap. Cleans it up. To Beverly. Screen coming. Paul George to Beverly. Can't connect.
And this is where you know you have the offense right where you want them. Every possession, all you see them.
The crossover gets inside and the slam dunk.
There you go. I like seeing scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Beverly to George. Can't connect. Nuggets have the possession. Got it.
Because in certain players' mind, it doesn't matter if they're amongst the trees or not. They're always going to be the giant in the paint.
George to Marcus Morris. George. It's no good. Shots not going down. Knocked loose. Jeremy Grant. Tough matchup against George. To the rim, lays it up and in.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
And the finish, slam dunk.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
It's LA Clippers ball. Probing the defense. Here comes the screen. George, guarded by Jeremy Grant. Jumper's good.
Man, if we were at Rucker Park right now, everybody would be wilding on the court. Guarantee it.
Now whistle. Timeout for Denver. They're down big in this fourth quarter, and a chance here to empty their bench. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Jokic. Denver with 4 to shoot. To Millsap. Deep three at the buzzer. That misses with a second to go. It's the Clippers who come away with the victory as they win this one in very convincing fashion. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Jalen Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Clippers put together a nice win here today. They did plenty of great things, but we all know what's going to be remembered are the dunks. And you know what? I'm going to remember nothing but the dunks as well. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Los Angeles Clippers. The Nuggets couldn't put it together to get the victory here today. I'm sure they can't help but feel frustrated with the result, but they can't let that feeling linger. Sooner than later, they need to start thinking about the next matchup. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Denver Nuggets.
Game track. Assists.
The Los Angeles Clippers showed off the kind of team chemistry that coaches love to see from their players. The more they moved the ball, it showed how much they trust each other. In the end, they got to win, and it looked like they had a great time doing it.
Player of the game.
Kawhi Leonard gets the award for the most obvious reason, and that's his scoring output. He couldn't be stopped, and it was incredible to watch.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. We got our top 3 plays for you. Check them out.
Number 2. Number 1.
This has been a presentation of ESPN on EA Sports. Until next time, I'm Jalen Rose, signing off.